Team USA lost to a basketball team that only had one NBA player. And nobody's talking about it. Team USA lost shortly after Noah Lyles pointed out the ridiculousness of calling yourself a world champion despite not playing international competition. In Major League Baseball, they call themselves world champions. In basketball, they call themselves world champions. I'm not sure about the NFL. They for sure don't do it in soccer. I don't know nothing about soccer. I don't know anything about soccer leagues. But yeah, when it comes to world champion, everybody knows the United States is never, in contention. So check this out. I think maybe the women's soccer team, but let's go back to Team USA losing to Lithuania. And all these NBA players and commentators and saying that the NBA has the best 400 basketball players in the world. That is not true. The NBA does not have the best 400 basketball players in the world. That is simply untrue. There are a lot of people who are not in the NBA who should be in the NBA. Let's make that clear. There's a lot of politics that go into making an NBA roster. There's a lot of people on NBA rosters who are not there to play. They're not going to play, and they already know that they're not going to get any minutes. Okay? There are favors, agents who have relationships with executives. There's nepotism. There's people who have no business on an NBA roster. So we can't sit here and say that the 400 best basketball players in the world are on NBA teams. That's just simply not true. All right? Now, going back to the world champion thing that Noah Lyles brought up. Remember, Coach Pop said the same thing, and nobody had smoke for him. When Greg Popovich said that NBA champions are not world champions, nobody had smoke for Pop. But all of a sudden, people got smoke for Noah Lyles. Come on now, let's talk about it. And here we have Team USA losing. Now, I know some of you will say the best players in the NBA were not on the court, right? This is not the Olympic team. Well, let me remind you, I think it was 2004, the USA Olympic team won a bronze medal. I believe it was 2004 when Team USA went to the Olympics and won bronze. I think LeBron James was on that team. I think Allen Iverson was on that team. I think Stephon Marbury was on that team. I believe Carmelo Anthony was on that team. They didn't win gold. They didn't win silver. They won bronze. Third place in the Olympics. Dwayne Wade, I believe he was on that team. LeBron, Wade, Iverson, they won third place in the Olympics. But people want to get on the internet and say that nobody can beat the Denver Nuggets. They are the world champions. Team USA is a collective of good basketball players. Now, this is the FIBA. FIBA Team USA is a collective of good basketball players. So they say. Let me take that back. Everybody on Team USA can play. Okay? But they're supposed to be the best in the world. Lithuania said, "Hold my beer." And then they laughed. They laughed. You see him laughing with his tongue out? Laughing. The thing about basketball is that when you get to the professional level of basketball, it is similar to football. Any given Sunday. This team, the Lithuania team, hit 50% of their three-pointers. Over 50% of their three-pointers. If a team is hitting 50% of their threes, you're probably going to lose that game. I don't care who you are. We have seen championship basketball teams get blown out. How many times have you seen the Warriors get blown out where they sit their stars in the third quarter? Y'all go ahead and sit down. This game is over. We're not going to risk an injury. This game is over. Go on, sit down, Steph. Blowout. By non-playoff teams. Get blown out. That's just the nature of basketball. It's just the nature of basketball. Now, I'd say this. When we talk about unstoppable players, if you had a Shaquille O'Neal on your team, you could dump the ball down low, right? We are not in the era of unstoppable big men that don't require a lot to go get a bucket. There's not too many unstoppable players in the NBA. And even then, you would have to fill up a team with unstoppable players, but a good defensive scheme can force them to pass the ball. And again, there's no way you can put together a roster of unstoppable players. Of course, KD can go get you a bucket. But KD is not unstoppable. He is a walking bucket. 30 points, easy. 50, 40, 90. He's not unstoppable. In fact, I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say a D1 team could beat an NBA team. I'm not going to say that. But it is possible. Division I college, national champion, it is possible. Highly unlikely, but it is possible. Shooting the lights out, right? You might not be able to defend. You might not be familiar with NBA schemes, but if you are shooting the lights out, you have an opportunity to beat a professional team. And so that's all I got to say. Team USA lost. More people need to be talking about it. It is your favorite YouTuber, Two Black Sports Talk. Two Black Sports Talk. I will see y'all on the next one. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Peace.